Oh, hello. Hi, Emmett. How are you, my friend? Thank you. Thank you so much for your. You sent me a message, yes? I read it. It was one of the first things I read this morning. Nice concentrate. Shh. What are you ta- What are you talking about, JB Ray? Divide sight? What do you mean? Like, it's fucking. This is serious business. I mean, it's legit. It's awesome, right? It is like serious. Serious? That makes me think, have any of you guys been getting some planetary and star system downloads? I imagine so. We're being contacted. Pleiades, Arcturus, Andromeda, Sirius. It's all like coming into alignment basically. Excuse me, pardon me, I'm making coffee. I actually prepped my breakfast as well, which is the best part of half a watermelon. And I've prepped my lunch, which is chopped beetroot, broccoli, and carrot with sauce, obviously. I'm not just gonna sit there and munch on raw veg. I'm not those kind of girls. I'm not one of those. But I will share my vegan sauce. My vegan sauce with you is this. It's simple. It's really simple. Lots of dill with cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar, olive oil, salt and pepper. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about MJ's vegan dips. So where was I? Salt and pepper. A half an avocado, because that was in the fridge. And wait for it, some hummus. Bought some hummus from the shop, because organic hummus is hummus, and I honestly, I think some of the shops have absolutely perfected hummus, so I'm not going to sit there and blend up my chickpeas myself. I'd rather use chickpeas in stew, but boy, I had, some of you know, divine sight, I had a fairly volatile full moon ancestral clearing last night amidst my deep sleeping. And yay, I did see that comment. What? Go vegan. What? Go vegan. I'm happy for you, Emmett. So, yeah, I had a clearing I basically that wasn't salt and pepper. Thank you. Like, I am not a music person, would never claim to be. I'm not cool, don't remember lyrics, but wait, I'm sure that was salt and pepper. But I trust divine sight in when it comes to music. She'll be the one that will affirm or non-affirm. Um, so then you just shake it up. Shake it up shake it up. And then or blend it. You could blend all that shit together, but I kind of like the chunky dips. And if you just shake it loads in a recycled, reused container, which we have plenty of those, yeah, you just get this quite like tangy, it's quite like those creamy, sour cream and chive, or, I don't know, cucumber and dill, that kind of thing. Morning, Studio B, what? Hello, someone to lean on? How are you? I'm just talking about me prepping my day's food today and sharing my vegan dips with you guys and singing a little bit. Who is it if it's not salt and pepper? That wasn't salt and pepper, but close. They did. Salt and pepper did do. Who did? Let's talk about sex, baby. Then I'm sure it was salt and pepper. Device site. Google it. Or did they rip it from somebody? I don't know. I can remember them jumping around. Those girls jumping around in their. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, push it, push it real good. That's salt and pepper. But so is sex, baby. Isn't it? Who is it? Oh my god. Look at this distraction just taking 5 minutes. All I wanted to do was share my dips. And of course I couldn't, because within my sharing of the dips, I just had to say salt and pepper. And then an onslaught of my 80s, 90s tunage came into my awareness. Including, okay, Divine Sai and I are having a bit of an old debate here, folks. Salt and Pepper did Let's Talk About Sex, Baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things. That was most of our sex ed, by the way. Most of us that grew up in the 80s and 90s. Salt and Pepper. Those divine women were was our gateway to sexual freedom and emancipation. You would have to Google it, because I'm almost certain. But so is bum 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 bum, push it real good. That's Salt and Pepper too. Queens. For sure. Anyway, or unless it's that other with Left Eye. It is Salt and Pepper. It is. But what's the other one with Left Eye? Don't go to... Oh, here's Molly's non-great singer. Chasing waterfalls, please stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. TLC. There it is. Thank God there's a fucking constellation of people in the know. Right. TLC. Thanks, guys. Left Eye. She's watching over us here now. Because there's some more power. And Elia, there's some power players. There's some power players in the music industry that got taken out, because of their knowledge and their wisdom and their power. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not going there anymore. I'm not going into the mind control stuff, although I literally just did a Facebook share, my 21 days getting to know you, which reminds me I have to change the number because it was day 6, not day 5. Cut and paste. But I just did a whole rant on Facebook about the Unplug for Freedom course. Because yesterday I got the insight around this, there's a window here between now, because I'm going to be moving house, because I'm going to go buy myself a house, you guys. Universe provide me with a house. I got my eyesight and I am aware of the alignment. So the next few months, although I'll be making a move, possibly by November, that will be my timeline, basically. Get back from Morocco and or do work in Morocco, because I'm in Morocco for 10 days. Not sure if the retreat's going forward, but I'm doing, because literally I'm at the whims of the miracle love. I'm at the whims of the trusted divine, you guys. No exact idea, but I'm pretty sure Saturn going direct is gonna boom, boom, boom. It's gonna drop some bombs in my reality in the most loving way possible. Obvi. So there's this timeline essentially from now until December, and then a bit of a move in between. But I reckon MJ, in her move at light speed, move at warp speed, will be able to produce, film, write, and edit Unplug for Freedom and launch it by December. Very latest, December 31st. Very, 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 very latest is January 1st, 2020. And then I will have completed the Be the Change online courses. And all to love will rise and take over the world. Pinky in the brain. Oh my God, you guys, this is insane. Obviously, I point my finger at all of you for bringing out my cray-cray, because this is not what I'm like when I'm just by myself in studio. This is normally I'm quite a serious person, actually. Unless I'm just with my intimate besties, which only a handful of you. I mean, I'm a bit cray-cray, but obviously I think deeply and feel deeply. So there's a lot of anyway. I don't need to explain myself to you. What are you going to do today, brain? Well, Pinky. For real. That we can just, those of you guys here, new paradigm leaders, we might as well just have chats like that. But how are we going to take over the world? We're going to basically shine the light of love into this reality until we bend it and turn it, and the masses come with us because they realize and they remember who they are. And then we just hold our hearts open like the Care Bears and just love everybody until they remember that they are one with the Great Spirit, not separate from it. So then they would not want to destroy the planet nor the creatures who live on it. Love bombs dropped. Bum, 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 bum. Love everywhere. Now I'm like doing the can in my head, but with like hearts everywhere. Chan, 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 chan. Okay. 10 minutes of tomfoolery. Let's get serious, people. I literally have like 4 notes for today's share, by the way. Happy full moon. How was it for everybody? I shared with Divine Sight about some of the intensities for me. As much as I'd want to be like, oh my god, I couldn't sleep and it was like so intense and so high vibrational. Actually, I at one point was having like menstrual intensity of just, let's say it in the most loving and compassionate way possible, just things coming out both ends, and me knowing that this is, I'm just letting go of more ancestral depth of pain and karma, which I lovingly embraced, even though I was actually like on the toilet sweating that. Because I've never had that kind of clearing ever in my whole life. And so I'm like tuning in and listening, being like, this is some ancestral shiz. This is some ancestral shiz. Thank you. Thank you for clearing. I'm like, let it go. Let it go. And then it did. And then I slept. I slept for another 8 hours after having slept for like 4 at least during the day. So yeah, lots of deep sleep and integration and clearing. Oh, heart has an orgasm. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a big part of, oh God, and that's making me think of like, I'm having definitely more insight around the sexual energy and like the disparity of how it's propagated in mainstream, and ultimately the distortion, because women don't technically, even though we are claiming it in our culture, women are disenfranchised from their own bodies. So it's like, that's, i.e. enslavement and propaganda to further disconnect people, make people frightened about co-creation, even though at the same time that's all we're meant to serve. So there's just this up level of the paradox, but from the place of unity and divinity, which is absolutely necessary for us to reclaim our freedom. First, we must have dominion over our vessels. And even though that's a bit of a quantum leap, those of us here now in the quantum field are the examples. Shining forth for our common humanity. Hey guys, remember, don't be afraid. Gosh. And yeah, there's a lot of energy of backlash, I suppose, right? Kind of explosive clearing. One of the finest dinners I've ever eaten. Yes! Oh my god, Mary! Oh my god, I'm with you. I made this glorious, glorious leek and potato and chickpea soup, but I don't think I'll ever be making it again. you know what I mean, right? I'm like, I never want to eat leek and potato again, basically. Even chickpea I need to be mindful of. So there you go. I'm glad that some of you were visiting me in the astral plane, or just visiting me in the 3D, but at one, going, whoa! Me too. It kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't used to it being so violent. Plus, the timing has all been like, again, that's part of it, cosmic convergence. And so this awareness of the telepathic communication that's happening among the new paradigm leaders, no ego attached. It's like that unity piece is coming through, the awareness of the purge on like every level, and then the cosmic convergence, because I was having kind of these weird timeline crosses, but they came into the one where I'm like, oh, now this all makes sense, because it was the blood and the DNA and the codes of old, essentially, like the codes of the body, which are released through the female vessel in her bleeding, basically, and how all of these sensations and depths were coming through, where in my past cycles they were not quite lined up. I'd have certain symptoms beforehand, Anyway, and then these symptoms of the release where I'm like every this is such great conversation, you guys. I'm so thrilled to be chatting here with you about this in service to the whole, of course. Like every orifice, like piss, shit, vom, bleed. So glamorous. It's so glamorous to be a woman. And I'm just holding it there with my loving heart in the light of my awareness, being like, I feel you. I'm going to lean into this. I'm not going to reject the pain. I'm going to lean into it and embrace it as the clearing of the old. And not even old, because actually past, present, future is here now. So it's like letting go in the here now of past projection, future projection. And I had that 2 cycles ago. Oh yeah, and you came in. But you were with me because when that was happening to me, I remember you having that same thing. Was it August? I'm sure you shared as we do, which then almost held space for me to be in mine. And then, because there was an awareness of it. Yes, August. So now it's 1 month, and you were the reflection back of like, oh, there's like these like deeper clear outs, because I remember you sharing that with me. And i.e. sometimes I think it's just one seed be planted to not have the fear around it, and or wanting to reject the pain of it. Because let's be honest, girls and men who have ever witnessed a female in these moments, like, it's intense. It takes over your whole body. Like the system can control it. Now, control doesn't exist. Control doesn't exist. Nor does fear, in truth, as an external representation. It's all a projection of self. So like, holding space for the manifest body, i.e. conscious manifest body, to release these old patterns, because all day I was kind of sitting in old patterns and then having insights around patterns and just kind of mind blown around patterns themselves, right? It was scanned and my DNA was being upgraded. Yeah, okay. And then I also had an awareness of the scanning. And again, not to be feared, but there is that. And Chance, one of you has been messaging me about astral travel, meeting in the ethereal. I'm opening up to more awareness of that now. Multidimensionality. Anyway, it's not integrated, my friends. MJ needs a little bit more rest to keep talking about this stuff in different layers. But something I do want to share with you guys is the deeper stillness that we're endeavoring, and the trusting of the miracles, because for, I think, a lot of us, it's literally like in the void. We're just suspended in the void right now of like, from now until, it's only 3 days away, 5 to 21 days of chrysalis being in the womb, and then Saturn return. And then Saturn return is going to like, boom, 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 what Amit said, about I'm hearing the Legion. Yes, I understand. Divine sight. Yeah, clearing. Yeah, patience versus frustration, right? Trust versus a lack of. It's all one, essentially, of love, unconditional, neutrality of self, being in the here and now, 0 point presence, and actually fully investing, trusting, and loving the highest, most divine potentiality of a timeline that one can create and endeavor to live. So in that presence that we're holding space for the new paradigm, heaven on earth, whatever, creation timeline, everything that we carry, DNA, cells, whatever, it's all energetic atom of memory bank. That is all rising up from within self to be purged. Whether we shit it, vomit it, cry it, scream it, did I say shit already? Bleed? Like, however, and remember I've talked about this as well, but it comes up in our feelings and memories of like of old chains, shackles, density, weight, whatever our personal themes and challenges have been, they're rising to the surface. And then what some of you have reflected back as well is the speed with which we're clearing them. So we see the pattern, clear it, and then we see the pattern, clear it. Hence, maybe I'm only getting this right here now, is that maybe that's part of the volatility of the expression, which I'm sharing with, you know, those of you who are reflecting or resonating with it, is, yes, one, ask and receive. It's the same as letting go. And the one, it's all here now, basically. And yet the speed with which we're transforming and shifting the patterns are coming up in a more volatile way. Hence, I was just saying to Mary about like that resonance of never before has it been so kind of explosive, and at the same time divine and protected, because I can't tell you how it's all been so divinely guided, and the serendipity and the synchronicity is so beautiful that like I've been, you guys don't know, I've moved city and I'm living with this beautiful amazing woman, and she, so we have we were roommates essentially. I'm living in her house, and to transition, because I'm pretty sure I found my new house, but I'm transitioning in the miracle of the void, right? And so I needed a stepping stone to get me to my next destination, and this is it. And it just so happens that there's another piece to the alignment, of course, and because of this depth of healing and also the volatility of it, like, you know, I had to kind of like just sit there and sweat and purge in the toilet, and I've been on my own this weekend. So she's gone away, and then as I was like doing that, holding back the, well, I mean, it's just such great conversation, isn't it? 11:1. Woo. And then I'm looking at 22 as well. So yeah, I'm like, it's divine that I've been given the weekend to myself to basically go through the process. Plus, after, I guess it's coming up now to about 3 weeks I've been living here, on another level, I've been aware of having to clear the energy from the biofeedback of a more 3D implanted, or a 3D embedded person. So it's like re-entering the matrix from a more expanded awareness, but there's still going to be the biofeedback. Hence why a lot of us now in our placement and in our function, our work is now pure ancestral and collective. You know, like they're in the 0 point of like MJ as a soul, there's no, the karma's been cleared. It's coming, it's my awareness and the subconscious conscious mind is in the here now. It's one with the totality. And so there's no, you know, past life unconscious stuff going on. It's just, but hence why it brings stuff up even more viscerally and more actively, I'd say, is that it's powerful, I guess, and like the dynamism of taking the next leap into the manifested reality, and the depth of like all of the residual fears of not being able to shine our light, of not being able to manifest, of it not being true, of everyone's gonna just fucking laugh at you, blah 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 blah. All that is like, and you're like, oh fuck, what have I done? And then you're like, but hence in the quantum, why y'all are here, it's like the reflecting back and the holding of the space and the trusting of that divine elevation, right? Which is why I'll speak for myself, even in the last sort of few weeks, there's been this another kind of almost unexpected instantaneous shift and clear out, and then a recognition of seeing what is and knowing where people are coming from, working with intuition in this sort of non-judgmental, totally pure divine way, but actually honing the intuitive capacity of knowingness of the depth of the layers of emotional bodies that are being cleared. Because we're still all connected, and there's still everybody working on different levels, right? Kind of hard to shine your light when everyone attacks is fit being what they call me. It's time to shine now, though. Well, but that's part of your awareness and also what you're working on specifically, right? On the various frequencies, which is part of your message coming in today about the reminder that people are working on these lifting veils, essentially. And no, that's okay. I still like got to the essence of the message. Because for me, the guidance is to now focus solely on the projected field, right? Or solely on the positive, i.e. not to deny the negative, but not to be anchored back in the fear and or it's a distraction energy. It's a control energy. It links us to doubt, fear, worry, those shackles. And so there, for me, it's been almost like a lot of the work of late, which is reflective of Amit, the work you've been doing, in in the different realms, is dissolving those barriers and or sheaths that are linked to some of us in different ways, but not feed. My soul work has been to not feed any of it ever. I had an encounter with one of you recently, and you brought that in the physical, and then you brought that in, and I was very much like, ugh, like energetically, like, no, I'm not going there. That is not, this is not an issue. This is not, and yet it's the same thing of like energetically holding space to stay focused on the light, because there's so many veils of distraction, and at the same time, I know this sense of divine protection and guidance because you're all here and everyone's in their function. Yes, the devil tries to block view. Yes, yeah. It's time to shine now, though. Right. Well, that's part of the Saturn return, planetary activation. It's all divine. This is the thing about like our unique function and coming away from the mental illusion of control, and this sort of egoic idea of you create your own reality versus we are creating the reality that we perceive. There is an aspect of personal endeavoring, and yet on a consciousness level there are multiple souls in alignment with one body, one mind, and it has to do with frequency. It has to do with soul journeying. Yes, to a certain degree, contracts, but even contracts are even when we think of contract as something solid, that is an illusion of the matrix. In divine law, contracts aren't necessary, because we are all in function of the cosmos, of divine law, of inherent truth. It's like speaking certain things is not necessary. Hence, the more in your anchored truth you become, the more authentic you become, and people's biofeedback of pettiness is less and less triggerable for you. Their divine right action is the only work they're here to do, and anything less or you should you're just there's no energy for that, to feed that unconsciousness anymore, certainly not in my reality. And anyone who's trying to kind of hook back in on that level, I haven't the time or energy for it, because the birthing, the manifestation of the new is so ripe for the blocking, ripe and ready for the embodiment. And it's all been so miraculous in this cosmic convergence. That's a word that I'm getting. It has to do with the 0 point and like the fusing of kind of unity timelines, right? So the deeper stillness and trusting in the miracles is that which I'm being called to do. And then the let love rule. It's true. It's let love in the highest manifestation and the potentiality of our birthing manifestation come through the love of the heart. That's why many of us are resonant with the heart activation or heartbreak, or that last layer that got peeled back around heart activation, which for some of us happened at different times, right? Yeah, onto the love. I know, it's so like like that's why I think so many of us connect here. It's like, holy shaz, this has been a long time coming, like long time, as in like the many cycles that we've endeavored and the soul's expansion that we've allowed via Earth, her call, So the activation in layers has been happening. It's kind of accelerating, and now it's like this fusing into the 0 point. Hence, those of you who are in the here now with me, that's the cosmic convergence of divine anchoring. Hence why Saturn's go direct. And like for a lot of us, I have Capricorn rising, so these last Saturn transit has been specific to my personal journey in laying down the foundation so that whatever I can create can be built with stability. And that's why all of the next layer insights are about delegating tasks, where I invest my money. I never saw it necessarily coming, but that's part of the here now presence, is like having roots, having a home. That's going to be really important for me to elevate and expand the brand or the mission, right? Coming into single awareness of I am the only director. No one else can. It's like being a mother. No one else can. I mean, you know what I mean. But like in truth, you're the mother of that child, and like you'll know that. And like no one could just kind of walk in and be like, no, I'll mother her for you. Oh wait, no, I've got ideas for you and how to mother best. It's like as a birthing a business into the world via your cosmic divine order connection. I've had to outdo some unworthiness wounds, basically, and some people pleasing wounds to get here now, and then be vibrating at the 0 point to make manifest that which is coming through. And some of it I didn't see coming, i.e. like buying a house, but now it's coming in like mega powerful. And how weird is this? But not really. 309 is the number of the house that I'm being guided to buy. And 309 is the reverse. So my childhood home, where I had my earliest sort of divine sight experiences, was 903. What does 903 make but a 27 and a 9 and then a 3, right? 9 plus 3 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 is the number of 1 this month, but then also the 21st century, the century of truth, the Aquarian age. So yeah, I'm just like, wow, whoa. And then on another level, I'm being guided, like some of y'all that I've connected with in quite an integral way on the internet. There's like zones. And so, of course. And your divine sight is one of them in the work that she does in Dallas. Like, I know that on every level, but like even on a business level, like being guided to support certain projects and missions and people who are basically vibrating in that kind of soul essence tribal love hot vibrashe, because I have the mutual vision. And then it's like the UK is a stronghold. There's areas, and like a friend in Montana, another friend in Maine who has connection to Bermuda, which is like an area that the European and then the American vibers can meet and come to Bermuda. And all of this is like coming in, and it's coming in such a real and tangible and visceral way. And like at the same time, the polarity is all the fears and the doubts and the like, you're disgusting. Not you guys, but like my memory body of like, you never move. Hence why it's so clear. And having been guided and this weekend to be on my own, basically. And I disconnected fully. Like I think the last point was just divine sight, because I attended in spirit your dark moon goddess ceremony. And so I just by chance, I woke up like around basically when you guys were starting, I woke up and then I started my ceremony in my room. And then I went down to the river and I burned, like you guys were doing with the family, like, and then I burned all my intentions, which was a big wad of paper that I've been working on for the last month, this last cycle. And then I just slept a lot and ate food and sat with a lot of uncomfortable ancestral past fear, past baggage. Like my body, I could feel lots of black gooey stuff in my heart and lungs and like all around my body. It was like all the old energy was resurfacing once again. And you're like, I see you, I love you. And then had that big purge in the evening. So it's a really fantastic day yesterday, vibing high with the full moon. Really, the polarity swing of that is just the barf emoji with a heart and then another barf emoji. And then I wake up this morning with Amit's Legion Venus with your message, which is totally resonant because I also had downloads from Sirius, Andromeda, and Arcturus, and Pleiades, the Seven Sisters. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I love you. Hi, Jill. How are you? What? You're resonating. You've come in somewhere, either maybe on Instagram or maybe as a subscriber. I'm not sure. Welcome to Out Love TV, where we talk a whole bunch of raz. Well, about one oneness and love and spiritual transformation and mass spiritual awakening so that human being don't blow it out the water. Bought your book. Oh, ah, thank you. Oh my God, that I love it. I love it. There's more of you guys coming back with that feedback of buying my book, and that's curiously as well. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. My intuition keeps saying that it's the book, and then I have the polarity fear of like, don't you dare get all up on your arsehole about that thing, and I'm like, but it's already done. I'm already on to the next project, and it's just like the resources descending into my reality to assist me in this next phase, and buying a house and all this stuff, and I'm like, well, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Jill, just so you know, we just talk. Actually, I mean, we talk high level manifestation, vibration across the nation for new paradigm leaders. But then there's also a lot of just like MJ rambling. But it's all from the heart, love. So yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, even if you decide to bounce, because I'm just talking to shits, you're. I will still love you, okay? I will still love you. That was one of my things when I was working with that mentor all those years ago, and they were like, no love lost, or something like that. Oh, and Jessica, I shared, so Jessica, you sent me that message about your friend who was reading the book and like having to put it down to integrate the knowledge and like mind blowing. I shared that. I made sure to kind of, you know, I put different things to kind of cover her person, because I don't know, I feel like not everyone wants like their name to be exposed about, you know, self-help stuff, but anywho, but the words were there about listening to MJ's book and having it be mind-blowing information. I'm like, ah, thanks guys. And again, now that it's been so long that I've kind of let it go, it's probably more likely to manifest. Because anyone on this manifestation path, like obviously as soon as I published it in 2016, I was expecting hundreds of thousands of sales. Except that never happened. So I just have been like, like bumbling through life, being like, how do I? Because I basically went into 10,000 pounds worth of debt, and I was living off the generosity of people and like bumbling through the life, being like, well, now what, universe? Because I surrendered my life to the universe when I was like 19. So a lot of times I've been living on the edge when it comes to money, because I never really had me on. And I've just, yeah, because because like, I don't know, the banking system is criminal to me. I'm like, so the last letter I got, I was like, oh, thank you guys so much for reminding me, like I forgot. I had no fear trigger whatsoever, which to me means I'm already over the pass of my past cycle of bottoming out. If any of you guys are still with me, hurrah, hurrah, I commend you. Okay, just guys, 38 and 55 minutes in, let's get real and get serious about what MJ's notes are. I have 2 more notes, most of which have been covered because I've been talking, because you guys have been feeding back and we've been talking about it already. Deeper stillness and trusting miracle. So a lot of us will be right out there in the void, hence anchoring in intuitive, it's a pure intuition at this point. There's nothing else. And hence, you know, my discernment piece and awareness of like no ego attachment, just pure guidance. And then, but at the same time, actually being open to receive and letting the love that I am in to my reality. Because really up until quite recently, I was either still seeking it, and there was this sort of loop of thinking other people were going to bring it in, and I'm not getting that now, which is why it's the deeper fears shitting out of my body, because this is it kind of thing. It's like, oh fuck, what have I been casting into the field? Shit. And then because some of the insights and the intuitive things that I get literally make my hair stand on end and give me such goosebumps. And then there's like this little part of me that's like, oh God, like I want to run away from my mission. because it's a little bit I see I don't like when I say big or large, like there's a grand beauty to it all, but like my ego literally just wants to be like or no, might be my spirit to my ego if my ego ever got attached to, like, but this is why I have all of you and my friends that hold space in the most divine sense, because I'm like, you'll never let the ego reign supreme, right? Intuition reigns supreme, and you can feel the difference, right? And I think some of you guys got the same messages. Intimidating. It's like, huh? I'm not going to actually have to do these things, am I? And you're like, yeah, but don't worry, because when it actually drops into manifestation, you'll be ready. I'm like, okay, great. So we'll be ready. Don't worry. You're always going to be able to handle whatever the universe is bringing in. I'm working with financial advisor. Business card slogan is, I'm not mad at you. That's so great. I know, and that's how I feel about the banks. I'm like, I know they're not mad at me and they're just trying to help. In my heart, anyway. Yes, same messages. And this is my thing about living on the edge, is like, because my awareness of it, I too, I have, and this is, I think, where people, like, along the way that but try to manipulate me, they get caught out, because maybe some people at first judgment think I'm just a space cadet, or think that I'm just this unorganized, like, ooh, you talk about love and do yoga, ha. And I'm like, and I'm actually, like, super financially aware, and I'm actually, like, super on it when it comes to, like, my documents. Like, I've never missed a tax year. I've always had an accountant ever since going freelance. So I've worked with accountants and had accountants do my books. And, like, yeah, I'm like crazy on my website and figured out how to do editing, and like I've done all this stuff, which even as I vomit the words into your earwaves, it's like, oh my god, I did all that because there was a time where I was just like a ghost of the self, being like, what's happening in this? Why is everyone so mean? Why is ever yeah? And I hated the beingness that I was, and I could feel the density, and then like like wormholes of creation, wormholes of creation, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm becoming a new person. Oh my god, this body is exactly how my divine eye would have seen it. And like the way I share here, I'm like, who are you, MJ? And I'm like, I know who you are. You're who you always intended to be. That's why you wrote a book, to share it with your brothers and sisters who you love so much. Because because cosmic alignment. Because cosmic alignment, you guys. Because cosmic convergence. Because that paradigm shift, the fucking spiritual awakening that happened to me when I was 19, it's here now. Because she knew that I would be able to somehow fucking figure this shit out in my intuitive introversion, like just sitting there and like crying a lot, but then also journaling like a mad scientist, being like, what is going on this fucking planet? Okay. So what's coming in? Let love rule. That's what's happening. Activations in layers. But it is accelerating, you guys. And then the awareness of patterns, there's stuff coming in around that, which I will obviously always share with you as and when it's integrated and embodied enough so that I can translate it in some kind of cohesive fashion. Pre-programmed us to wake up just before we needed to, especially right now. We are the ones we've waited for. Hells yes. Hells yes. Jessica. We are the ones we've been waiting for. And scene. That's literally how it feels sometimes. I'm at my dear one, you back. Oh, I remember how like 2 days ago I shared and we chatted about Fifth World and Aluna. I've randomly been tuning back in and it's all aligned. And then I put a comment on Aluna's, just the recent share. I don't think it was the Jaguar one. I think it was something else. No idea. Anyway, so I'm not listening to any tarot readings anymore, but I am listening to astro and energy updates. We are the only one, in essence, of the one unity piece of cosmic creation, right? Hence, coming into that 0 point, we're fixed now, but not ever. It's hence deeper still in trusting miracles. But Amit is back, and then I basically wanted to put a comment because, like, literally within a minute of Aluna's last share, which is the download when I was on the toilet last night, I got that. I was like, whoa, because it was so painful. I'm like, holy shit, this has happened in years. But then I had the awareness of, like, it's all ancestral. This is all ancestral blood and karma, and then literally within a minute of Aluna's share, she's like, I'm now aware that we're clearing pure ancestry and collective stuff. So I'm like, yep, that's spot on, basically. Same. So then I wanted to message her in the comments, basically just saying, like, yep, same messages coming through. And then it was so amazing because the message, and then right below, guess who was messaged right below mine 11 hours prior? Oh, only yours truly, but fifth world. And it was so fascinating to me because it's like there's some kind of reflection connection in fifth world community. In her, it's like a paradox, but it's the same frequency. Because her message was something about the jaguar and the Merkaba, the Star of David, rather. But then mine was on the energetic of ancestral collective. And so I was aware of, yeah, I've had to pull back as well, but it's all so that you can do the work, I think. There was this sort of gooey, dense entanglement in the collection of cliquey frequencies in some of these pockets of our YouTube land. And so, and I didn't want, it was almost like not pulling too much attention to, so breaking free, making sure we're staying in our authentic truth, not leaning in any kind of people-pleasing, entangled, like, you have to follow me, follow. And then I don't align with any of that. So it's like pulling out come into that pure, divine, intuitive living intuition, right, into the full function of your authenticity and truth, so that you can shine the most. And then making sure we're not encroaching on or feeding any of those lackey type paradigms or enslavement paradigms or fear paradigms around censorship and repressing truth. So I also had to kind of break free from that. There's no they, in essence, it's all contained within your own container. So, and what I was aware of was that that's part of the beauty of the function, is that her awareness of the jaguar and the Merkaba was almost like the other end of the infinity loop of my energy awareness of collective and ancestral. And so we get different downloads for different communities, basically. We get different downloads for the energetic frequency that we are to align soul tribes, right? And that has to do with the next phase of our human evolution in the quanti, as far as the work that we're meant to do. Because so many of us are international. So many of us are global citizens now. There is no barriers or boundaries when it comes to this divine mission that we're on. Why would there be? And so for some of us, that's why we're connecting to people in India and Indonesia, in New Zealand and Australia and America, in the UK. It's to do with the energetic ley lines of the planet, and of course the convergence and the pole shift, and how everything is going to be shape-shifting in these years to come for the linearity perception of the mass awakening. So as the mass continues to awaken in waves, our function is to continue to build on the foundation that we've already laid, which we all know this intuitively, certainly. Hence why we'll continue to encourage one another to show up in the way that we must, because there's only that knowing. It's like sometimes we might swing to the other polarity in fear and Scotland. Scotland for sure. Well, all of the UK, right? I'm down at Avalon. There's huge Scottish energy coming through in my timeline right now, and I shall only wait and see. But then I'm already connected to people who are setting up centers in Scotland. Anyway, it's all being guided. It's all up leveled. It's all really fun. It's better than anything we've ever known on this physical reality, because it's much less dense, essentially. Hello, how are you? So I just saw 50-50, and I'm really feeling like, I feel like that's kind of coming to an end. As soon as I get the kind of quite more clear, like, ding, and then it feels like I locked into the message that was meant to come through. Wow, yeah, I was watching Quirky Cosmo yesterday after a while. What time is it there? It's like 2 a.m. here. It's not 2 a.m. here. It is, the light is shining. The light is shining. It is, I have no idea, because pardon me, it must be like 7-ish, maybe 8. 3:03. 8:03. So Jess and I are 5 hours difference. It's midnight here. That makes it will be like 1 or 2 a.m. in Dallas, I think. Or no, 3 as well. Perfect. So basically everything is on flow. Everything is working beautifully. Miracles. It's funny because like it's even like even saying miracles is like, obviously. It's like, it's just, I don't know, like vibrational shapeshifting is such a wild and awesome thing, and you forget that there was a time where it wasn't that. That's why I'm like, obviously. Or like certain when we actually make it manifest, we're like, what, like it was hard? Because it's increased, because you have to be building the momentum in that direction anyway. So by the time it actually makes manifest, you're like, obviously. But then hence patterns. That's why we have birthday. Oh, beauty. Hence patterns. For those of us that are teaching, you know, those of us who are in a certain teacher capacity that share on this level. Hey, Lorna, what? It's about day. Except, is it about day? The patterns have been especially useful for the teachers, because the patterns are what has helped us really embody and anchor the ability to teach manifestation, in essence. The Christed manifestation, not manipulative manifestation. Yeah, and I can honestly say that each pattern has helped me trust deeper, trust greater, refine the focus, commit to the focus, like commit to the intuition knowing, commit to the divine knowing, commit to all of these things. Oh, this thing September is all about commitment, isn't it? And then continue to birth it into the new, like continue to make it manifest in the new, you know? It's like without the patterns, hence why mass awakening continues to happen in an accelerated way, because for a lot of the newbie souls, even though they're like the greatest, they won't have to go through, they'll just jump timelines, essentially. They won't have to go through all these different cycles once we come into this cosmic convergence. They just have the sudden awareness and then make the leap in quite quickly in that event horizon 0 point, because it's here now, but like, you know, my pattern that I was in was it felt like an infinity of being in my old density, of being in my old pain, of being in my own blah blah blah, right? And that will feel like infinity in that moment, and yet thank God there's a new day dawning, and then I can awaken, having messages from the soul tribe, you know, pulling me into creation mode. Because in essence, I want to have a day off today, but that's the new paradigm to me, is like, there's no, everything is on flow. Everything is paradoxical and reversed from old paradigm, but because I'm back in the matrix in such a way, I have to be that much more responsible with my energy once again, like next level. Hence, tuning in here most days I feel like guided to, because you guys are such an important part of the integrity of my mission as one, because it's all one mission really. So thanks guys for being here. Exactly. No, there's never really a day off. But obviously I needed to, well, it's just pure flow. As I say, it's like pure flow, intuition, guidance. Days off are, if anything, like worse. But then we have use, there's always, that's, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you guys will get that. Their work isn't work in any kind of laborious sense, except the speed with which everything happens and gets done. It's that. And well, and every day I have downtime as and when. You guys know that. I sleep when I want to sleep. I drink when I eat what I want to eat. I move when I want to move. Just one time. Don't we love a good noodle? Don't we love a good noodle? I embrace you all to noodle away today. And I do what I want. Oh, I love that. It's from what's his name? Eric Cartman. Whatever. I can't. I'm not doing it. Whatever. Patience. Learn you must. Leave those wise words from Yoda, our great master and Jedi. Patience, learn you must. I'm sure it's quoted in the Fearless Life Guide. By the way, Joe Megan, thank you so much for buying the book. Thank you, all of you, for buying stuff. All to Love helps me pay rent and pay for food at this point. Further down the line, all of y'all who are supporting the All to Love Mish, who knows, maybe All to Love will support you as I continue to open myself to receive hundreds of thousands of millions and millions of birth purchases to continue to shift humanity so that we can live in peace. I love you. I love you. 309. There it is. 309, 903. That's my house. That's my new house number. So I'm having a vision. I'm so looking forward to taking a photo and then sharing with you guys. Be like, it's happening. What? And just manifesting. All to love. New earth. Heaven. Better still. And all it requires to show up with this happy, shiny people laughing is on the polarity swing is to just hold space for the shits and the vomits and the depth of emotional clearing that happens. Love bomb. Boo boo. Landing on humanity, and who knows, someone like Justin Bieber just deciding to share the Fearless Life Guide on his social media. That's all it would take. That's all it would take is like just one, although, and then in truth, wouldn't we want that? I mean, sorry, this is my vanity speaking, but I'm a fan of Justin Bieber. He's just such a cutie. Plus he's Canadian. Totally corrupted by the demerge, but we can hold space, right? We can hold space. He's also from small town in Canada. Exactamundo. Resonance connection. He's my brother. Anywho, but then we can hold space and love for those that are have that much wielding pulling power of a mass collective to swing, to dive in, right, and to reclaim their own innocence and purity, to shine light for the truth of humanity, not the corrupted source point of control and domination. Forgetting who we are, playing a game of an illusion of ego. Okay, that's me. I'm done, you guys. I'm gonna go chill. Maybe I'll share some more. Oh, I might do an I might do an intuitive tarot. Love bombs, dropping bombs for all of us. Money, so we can give it away, which is what it's meant for. Currency exchange, my lovers. Currency exchange. Let's not stop hoarding. It's such bullshit. Yes, it's all happening. And I'm here in love and service for the whole... Oh, yes, group hug. Thanks, Gigi. Merci. Thank you, Gigi, for the reminder. MJ definitely needs to get a haircut. I love you. Virtual hugs. Virtual hugs. Have a gorgeous day. And yes, I'll endeavor to do an intuitive tarot reading on All to Love Instagram. And now I'm on Snapchat. All to Love World. Lots of love, you guys. Have a beautiful day. Eat your noodles and noodle away. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon. À demain.